Okay, guys, so today we're going to talk about logarithms, but we're going to first start with base E logarithms and exponentials. E is just a number that was discovered by Leonard Euler. Euler's last name starts with an E, and so that's why it is E. But it is 2.718, so very similar to pi being 3.1415, and so on and so forth. It is irrational. And with that being said, the function f of x equals e to the x is the natural exponential function, or the base e exponential function, where e is 2.71828, and the domain of the e to the x is the interval from negative infinity to infinity, and the range is from 0 to infinity. This is very similar to y equals 2 to the x and y equals 3 to the x. It's just a decimal in between those two values, so the curve is going to fall somewhere in between those. Graphing, as far as graphing goes, same rules apply. When you raise an e to the negative 2, you drop it to the denominator, and so on and so forth. When you have e to the 0, that's equal to 1, because anything to the 0 is 1. E to the 1 is 2.7, and then obviously you just start squaring 2.7 to get the next ones, and they rounded them. If the quantity p increases or decreases at an annual rate of r, compounded continuously, and then the amount a after t years is given by a equals PERT, PERT. So we've got these problems. Let's work these out. So we've got this equation. It says if 25,000 accumulates interest at a rate of 8%, compounded continuously, find the balance after 50 years. So we've got this PERT. P is the principal, R is the rate, and T is the amount of time. The indicator to us that we're using E here is the fact that it says compounded continuously. So the amount is going to equal 25,000 times E to the R, which is 0.08. Remember, if you have 8%, we convert that by moving it 2 times to the left, and then times the amount of time in years, so that's 50. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to use a calculator to do this real quick, and I will be able to tell you this is how you should do it. So you're going to have 25,000. There is an E button, e to the x on the calculator, 0.08 times 50. And this number is 1364953. 0.751, and so find the balance. So the balance would be $364 million or something like that. Okay, so it's not bad. Explain. So the next one, a city population has 15,000 people, but the economic conditions are causing the population to decrease by 3% each year. If this trend continues, find the population in 3 years. So A equals PERT again. This time the rate is equal to negative 0.03 because it's decreasing. The amount of time, T, is 30. And P is 15,000. So we're going to use a calculator again. 15,000 e to the negative 0.03 times 30. So if I do that one, we have 15,000 e to the negative 0.03 times 30. That is 6,098 people. Okay, so that would be 6,098 people. That would be the decrease. That would be how many people would be left if it continued continuously for 30 years. Mother takes a cake out on the oven, and the function represents the cake's temperature given Fahrenheit after it's taken out and cooled for T minutes. If her children come home from school in 20 minutes, will the cake have cooled enough to eat it? Assume that 80 degrees or cooler would be comfortable. Okay, so we're just going to plug in that value. We have 68 plus 220 e to the negative 0.18. And they said 20 minutes, so 20 So to do this, I'm going to put this in the calculator. We have 68 plus 220 e to the negative 1.8 times 20. And this is equal to 74.01 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it says assume that 80 degrees or cooler would be comfortable eating temperature. So this is 74 degrees. That does definitely look comfortable at a comfortable eating level. Now for each of the other ones, let me explain. ln is the natural log. So what this means is this is the log base e of something. So remember in the past when we did log base 2 of 2, what we were looking for is what power, 2 to what power is equal to 2. Well, we would say, oh, then x is equal to 1. Well, this is log e of e is equal to x. So this is e to the x is equal to e. And so this is secretly ln of e is equal to 1. Okay, so we're looking obviously at these problems here right now. Okay, so the next one, we have ln of 1 over e squared. Well, we know that e squared can be rewritten ln e to the negative 2. So this is what power is e being raised to? Oh, this is going to be equal to e to the x is equal to e to the negative 2. Well, then x must equal negative 2. Natural log of 1. Well, the only way to get 1 is if you have log e of 1 is equal to x, then you have e to the x is equal to 1, which means x is equal to 0, because we know that anything to the 0 is 1. And so log ln of 1 is equal to 0. And then the last one is ln of the square root of e. Well, we know that that's ln of e to the 1/2 power. And so this must equal e to the x is equal to e to the 1/2, which indicates x is equal to 1/2. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. It's just remembering the rules. I think you guys will do fine. Another way we could have done this is remember that if you have not logarithms, you can write the power in front. We have 1/2 times ln e. Well, we know ln e is 1, so 1 times 1/2. That would be another way you could do it. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'll be posting more soon. Thank you.